Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation, and today I'm going to be talking about the future of India and Pakistan. My name is Jared Braganza and thank you for joining me. The rivalry between India and Pakistan remains a hot topic. Even today, it has begun since the separation of the two countries. The relationship between these two has been on the edge since then and is not looking to get any better if they're going to go about the same way they have had in the past. In this screencast, I'm going to talk about what relationship Pakistan and India have had in the past and what they're going to have in the future. First of all, let's start with what caused the rivalry between India and Pakistan. In the beginning, Mahatma Gandhi and Nehru wanted a unified country. They wanted peace. They wanted a country that was built around the principles of liberal democracy. But that isn't as easy as it sounds. You see, Pakistan had a large Muslim majority, and India had a large Hindu majority. And this was the whole reason in the first place that they decided to separate so they could live in peace. But after the independence, violence came again, and territorial claims overshadowed their relationship. Ever since then, they've fought numerous wars in which there have been thousands of casualties. One of the main center point of it all is the conflict for Kashmir. We will learn more about that later. But that doesn't mean they haven't been trying to improve their relationship. There have been many agreements, but Pakistan and India have decided to sign for peace, but it wasn't long before they took back to violence again. So it has been up and down for Pakistan and India for quite a while. And the main focus point that I want to focus right now is on Kashmir. And the war of 1965 and possibly a nuclear war that could happen. If Pakistan and India carry on like this, they could go on to being just the same as they are now and in the future. So the conflict between Kashmir with Pakistan and India has been going on since the beginning. The conflict soon escalated into wars and several other skirmishes. Both India and Pakistan claim Kashmir. India owns around 70% of Kashmir and Pakistan only about 30%. Both countries have military personnel in them in hopes to be able to obtain more land. But the people of Kashmir had enough and they started to protest, and then they were getting tired that the Indian government had control of the Kashmir Valley. The main event that took place about Kashmir was the Indo and Pakistan War. The clash did not solve the issue, but it did involve the US and the Soviet Union in ways that would have important implications for superpower involvement. You could probably guess why the war started. Rudra Chaudhary, who works for the India Review, mentioned that Pakistan Rangers had occupied a key post in an area known as Kandrakat, believed to be on the Indian side of the border. So they started fighting for it, and by the end of it, India had won a total of around 1,900 square kilometers, and Pakistan won about 500 square kilometers. So there was a total of almost 3,000 Indian soldiers that were killed, and almost 6,000 Pakistan soldiers that were killed. So by numbers, India had won. As we fast forward a couple of decades, Pakistan and India tried to be peaceful again. T.V. Paul, a professor at Cambridge University in London, stated that the leaders of both countries met at the outset of 2004, essentially agreeing that Kashmir conflict could be handled peacefully. I think from this moment onwards, there has been a great cause for optimism. The relationship might not be the greatest right now, but there's still some democracy left in trying to control Kashmir. But needless to say, there has been many casualties in Kashmir from both sides that have given up their lives for a greater cause. This is probably the most iconic problem that India and Pakistan have had, but there are more. India and Pakistan are both nuclear powerheads. Pakistan is estimated to have around 130 to 140 warheads alone, and India only has about 110 to 120. But in my honest opinion, I would feel that Pakistan would get destroyed much easier just because it's a smaller country. Kartika Sasikumar, who writes for the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, says that India's warheads would most likely be delivered by one of its bomber aircraft. Pakistan would need to use missiles as the delivery system because India is a much larger target. If you look at the doctrine of India and Pakistan, you can see that nuclear use is being considered seriously. If you really want to know how much damage it could cause, think back when we learned about Nagasaki in a history lesson in Japan. It was a 20 kiloton bomb which Pakistan have and are ready to use. They could possibly target and destroy the whole city of Hyderabad, which has around 400,000 people living there. And over here we can see the city of Hyderabad and how big that is compared to Pakistan over here. And in conclusion, what does this hold for the future of these two countries? Both Pakistan and India have great power. Harshvi Pant says India is on the cusp of achieving great power and status. Pakistan not too far behind. I can see them both becoming powerhouses. But the same corruption is hard to imagine a better situation that there have been and there are in now. But there's still hope for those countries. Ishtiaq Ahmad and Hannes Erbert, who work for the Asian Affairs, stated that recent elections of new governments in both countries sparked hopes in the media and policy circles that long-standing conflicts might be ripe for taking a next step towards de-escalation. We can see that people hope the same as we do. Both Pakistan and India will have to undergo a change of heart and policies if they are truly to become better nations. Thank you for listening to this podcast.